Greetings, everyone. Before delving into the topic, let me share you a story about me. So as you can see here, this is my family. And you may ask, where's my father? And I grew up in a single-parent family. And this beautiful woman over here is my mom. She's the one who took care of everything in the family, and I love her. Being a single mom at the age of 26 and have to go through the pain of losing her husband was not an easy thing. And life was so tough with her, she gradually became quick-tempered and unsatisfied with life. And I always wonder, what can I do to make her happier? So one day, I asked, Mom, what can I do to make you happy? And my mom replied, you to study and study well. And at that moment of my life, I set a life goal for myself to study hard, to achieve high results, and to reduce her stress. And I devoted myself to studying throughout my childhood, and that continued until the COVID-19 happened a few years ago. Everyone, including me, had to stay indoors, and I kept seeing people sharing on social media about what they can do with their interests and passion. And I started asking myself, what do I want to do? What are my interests and passion? And then I come to realization that my soul was empty. I had no ambition, no interest, and no passion. I fell into depression. Things was tough in the beginning, but one day, I think that I should do something different with my life. I choose to read a book titled The Little Prince, which is a turning point in my quest of rediscovering my childhood. So, the story is about a pilot who met a young boy in the Sahara Desert when his plane crashed. The young boy, who is the little prince, shares about his adventures and encounters on different planets. And in one of the chapters, the little prince asks, what is that? And the pilot explained that it is not an ordinary object, but one capable of flying, which he is a pilot. Well, then the little prince jokingly asked if the pilot had fallen down from the sky, which is not very funny to the pilot. But through the eyes of the little prince, the incident was something magical and funny, not as an accident or a crash. This shows that when we look at things with a positive mind, the problems we encounter are no longer a big of a deal. The most critical lesson here is to retain innocence and the capacity for imagination within one's heart. And the story profoundly influenced me of its themes of curiosity and innocence, which motivates me to start my own journey of rediscovering my childhood. And then, I start my own journey with the Pixar movie, Finding Nemo. I still remember how this movie had impact on me during my difficult times. The story of Marlin's tireless determination to find his son Nemo made a deep impression on me, serving as a source of inspiration and hope for me to rise up and pursue my goals. And I also felt deep sympathy for the character Dory. Through the character Dory, the film emphasized the importance of optimism and confidence in life. And this movie has marked a new development step in my journey. I learned that when I face drawback in life, I can still pursue my goals with enough determination. So, the innocence of the little prince, the optimism and perseverance of both Marlin and Dory motivates me to change my life for the better. But you may ask, what is innocence? Well, I Google search it, and the concept of innocence encompasses the simplicity of children, their limited understanding, and their untouched purity unaffected by worldly matters. But I don't think that I was looking for something like this. And then I found my answer when I learned more aspects of literature, which is the Greek mythology. From the Greek mythology, I learned about the story of Medusa. She was famous for being a dangerous monster for all her lives. But a few people know that. She was once a beautiful priestess in the temple of goddess Athena. And because of her innocence and naivety, she was harmed by the god Poseidon, which then led to violating her vow of celibacy. As a result, she was punished by the goddess Athena, who turned her into a hideous monster, sadly. And from the story, I now hold a contrasting view of innocence. while it can foster naivety, while it can foster magic and wonder, but I don't perceive innocence as inherently good or bad. Its outcomes depends on our choice and action. So, what should we do to both preserve our innocence while protecting ourselves from traps of life? My answer is to balance between your childlike wonders and your emotional maturity. Integrating both will help us approach obstacles with enough determination. And when you know how to combine the power of art and the innocence of your soul, you can create great changes. For example, grew up, I see innocence in many aspects of art. So I used to draw and made handmade products, and I sell that, and use that money for donation. That's how the innocence of my soul create great changes. But I don't think that you have to do something so significant. You can just write down small kind notes and then share it to people around you. That's how the innocence of your soul creates small changes. And in conclusion, you can experience innocence through many aspects of life. And I want to end on this quote from The Little Prince. Tous les grands personnes en devoir étaient des enfants, mais pourtant qu'elles s'en souviennent, which means all adults are used to be children, but a few of them remember it. So remember, while growing up, you should learn how to combine the childlike wonders inside of you and the maturity you develop while growing up to become the best version of yourself. Thank you for listening.